5 months, something exciting has been happening in this country. I'm talking about a dream that started as a simple radio program and has turned into a movement that has touched almost 200,000 young people in all corners of the world. I'm referring to the COVID-19 Recovery and Resilience Program, which was put together at the instance of the Springboard Road Show Foundation with a lot of help from Solidaridad and MasterCard Foundation. Today we've decided to step out of the studio and stop by the offices of those in charge of CoRe and find out how we've been doing so far and the successes that have been chalked. I've been joined here by Comfort Okran. She's Executive Director for Springboard Road Show Foundation, and also Stephanie Donu Sapon, who is the Head of Gender Equality Management at Solidaridad West Africa. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
So first of all, what at all is CoRe for those who've been living under a rock for the past few months? Comfort.
The CoRe program, which stands for the COVID-19 Recovery and Resilience Program, is an initiative of the Springboard Road Show Foundation in partnership with Solidaridad and the MasterCard Foundation. The CoRe program seeks to provide young people aged between the ages of 18 to 35 job readiness skills, the opportunity to become more resilient in this uncertain era, as well as the opportunity to look at how they can acquire some job place skills even in this time and after COVID-19. You know, one of the things that this pandemic has brought to the fore is the need that young people must have the needed resilience to look at the uncertainty that the pandemic has brought into the world and say we can do more. We don't need to go under, and we don't need to go say that we are finished. But it's an opportunity for us to say, what can I do? How do I stand up to this? And how do I become a better me going forward after the program? So that is the CoRe program, a program seeking to provide young people with skills, to provide them resilience, to provide them with the opportunity to recover any losses they may have suffered during this pandemic and beyond.
Interesting. Now, Stephanie, I know that organizations worldwide have also faced their own challenges as a result of COVID-19. Why would Solidaridad, which is obviously like any other company bracing this storm, decide to support a program to help others thrive in this time?
Solidaridad is an organization that is very youth-focused. We believe that young people are indeed the next generation of this country and Africa as a whole. So we have a couple of programs that are aimed at empowering young people. And unfortunately, these young people have also been affected so badly by the COVID pandemic. So we felt the CoRe program provides a unique platform to reach out to this demography and then try to give them certain skills that would help them to cope, one, to survive, and then also thrive during the COVID-19 pandemic beyond. So we felt it was a very good opportunity to reach out to the youth and then also help them to manage some of the shocks and stresses that the pandemic has presented to everybody.
So what are the platforms that you've leveraged in putting out the program?
So far, we are on 30 radio stations and 3 TV stations nationwide. In terms of community information centers too, we are doing about 19 at the moment. And then on social media, we are on Instagram, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, and we are also on YouTube. And then our counseling and e-mentorship sessions too are held on WhatsApp. And then we have a series of events also on Zoom. So these are some of the platforms that we make use of.
That takes me to my next question, because you mentioned e-mentoring, e-counseling. I know there's also e-learning. Let's start off with e-learning, Comfort. What is it really?
Well, when we were designing the program design, we looked at what means can we reach the young people that doesn't involve in-person work. You know, Springboard over the years, 30 years, we've done nationwide programs, and then we meet people face to face. And here we are, we have a problem, or we have in this case, it became an opportunity where we are not able to do face-to-face or in-person meeting. How do we still pass on the needed skills that young people would have to acquire to be able to move and build resilience in this era and beyond? And therefore, we designed an e-platform whereby we said, okay, let's do these sessions in digital form and roll it out, as Stephanie has said, on various radio programs, radio stations, and so on and so forth. And therefore, we designed the e-learning platform, e-learning segment. This e-learning segment is simply 15-minute recordings of different topical areas, like how to identify your talent, how to monetize your talent, how do you use social media, if you are in a place of uncertainty, how do you face those obstacles? How do you turn obstacles into stepping stones and issues like that? These are real things that some of the young people don't have the needed tools that they need to be able to address those questions that, or one would say even conundrums that they are facing. And therefore, we designed that the e-learning platform does provide them 15-minute recordings.
Okay.
These recordings are translated into at least 4 different Ghanaian languages. So we have the English version, you have Akan, you have Ga, you have Ever. The Dangbe's also have their translation, because we identified one group, the Yedie group, and they are in Dangbe, and they said, well, we do here, we don't really understand, and I do understand because I have a linguistics background, so I know Dangbe and Ga definitely are different languages, but because they are quite a lot, we decided to translate that for them. We also have the Hausa and Dagbani that we use for the counseling session only. But I'm sure you'll find out more about the counseling. So these are there, and we use different stakeholders, I mean, people who have been able to do it in society, like Reverend Okran, or the Ghana Psychological Association, the lead of the Ghana Psychological Association, or let's say we have somebody from the Ghana Society for the Blind, or and they come to give us the real how to do it, and the tools are really practical, because we want them to see it not as something that is out of the blue,
but something that can come home to them, can sit with them in their homes. It sounds fascinating. How about these e-counseling platforms?
Well, like the name suggests, it's counseling that is done electronically. So we have professionals delivering counseling support to the youth over WhatsApp platforms. Sometimes we have Zoom sessions. At the moment, we have about 42 professional counselors that have been assigned to the program. So this leg of the program basically looks at providing support to the youth so they are able to overcome the emotional stresses, the mental disabilities, the psychological stress that have come upon them as a result of the pandemic. People have lost their jobs, people have lost their homes. At a point it was recorded that for women there were cases of domestic violence because they were stuck in the same spaces with their abusers. So a lot of emotional stress. So this component of the program helps us to address that. And one novelty we had on the program is to give psychological first aid training to the program implementation team, so that we are like the first point of call. When somebody calls, you're able to kind of stabilize the person for some time before you refer them to a professional. So that's what we are doing on the e-counseling aspect.
Definitely a lot of skills that you need, and a lot that has gone on so far. And now there's e-learning, there's e-counseling. What about the mentoring part, Comfort?
I think I am really, really excited about the mentoring part, because what we have done is identified over 80 professional areas. So that you have the professionals in, whether it's electricals or the professionals in agribusiness or professionals in animal husbandry, law, journalism, nursing. You have these professionals in these various areas, and what they have done is to provide counseling to provide mentoring for the young people who have been onboarded. Right now, we have over 7,000 young people onboarded in various WhatsApp groups. Therefore, on any given day, they have a regimented or a time, an hour in a week. But what happens is, because they are using the WhatsApp platform, if you come back during the week and you still have a question, you can still ask that question and to be answered during the week.
And how have those interactions been? How has it helped these young people?
We could show the viewers some of the snapshots. But here you are, this afternoon, I was just looking at the electricals page. Somebody has been asked to go and somebody had a problem, the meter or something, I'm not a professional there, but the meter or something had burnt or something like that. And he had been asked to go and look at it. And he sent a snapshot of the problem to the page and said, please, what is the issue here? So the counselors, the mentor there says that, okay, so you need to find out why it overheated, and these are the possible areas. So right there, the person is making use of the mentoring that he's receiving from the lead or from the mentor to help him do his job well. What I liked about that particular problem that the young gentleman was facing was that he said, you must make sure that you just don't reconnect it. Trace to find out exactly what made that electrical piece to heat up and melt, so that when you repair it, it doesn't get spoiled again. And I thought, this is very intuitive. This is something that,
it's definitely something he won't figure out on his own.
No.
And that's why you need the mentor. And Stephanie, I'm excited about the real-time element of this, because
I tell you,
sometimes if it was face-to-face, you would have to book time with this person, wait for the person's convenience. You definitely won't get him when you're on your way to your job.
No. If you have a banker, if you have the heads of Ghana Judges Association as your mentor, I mean, there's no way you can walk into their office. No. So this program, the whole setup is so exciting. And and to think that you are sitting in your room, we have the TV stations, as Stephanie mentioned, the radio stations, you have the WhatsApp, because when we finish with the recording, apart from the areas that we have, like the radio stations and so on and so forth, we send it on WhatsApp. We also post it on Facebook, and then it's also available on our webpage. So then there are multiple ways of interfacing with the program, and it can be at your convenience. It's there even when you go to bed, and it can be your whatever. So
whichever way that you want to use it, basically.
Whichever way you want to use it, it's available.
Interesting. Stephanie, you must be very excited to see this sort of feedback, but what really stands out for you when it comes to the success that this program has shocked?
For me, that would be the stories that we are already generating from our e-lead conferences. So the e-lead is a congregation of women where we line up women who are doing amazing in their areas of work. So we try to project them, they share their successes, they share their challenges, they try to inspire other women. And I guess it's because I work on gender and the empowerment of women, so I tend to align strongly towards that aspect, and I like the stories that we are hearing from the e-lead conferences.
I wish I could hear some of these stories. It sounds like there's so much going on.
And the interesting thing is, I think just yesterday we had an e-lead conference, and during that program we talked about the woman political. And politics is one thing that divide people in this country. And yet the messages that we got from our viewers for that particular program, they were talking about the fact that today they have seen politics, disaggregated from all the emotion. And they realized that we're talking about having a social impact on society, ensuring that the policies that are enacted in our country are able to reach the relevant people, and those policies that help people enjoy the things that are needed, make the nation grow. And therefore, they now see politics in a new light.
Okay.
So if we are talking about empowering ladies to go into politics, here is somebody saying that, oh, I always thought politics was, you know, really something that's to be touched. But it's possible to go in there, and because I have a focus, because I have a purpose, and because I am passionate about what I want to do, what I want to accomplish in society, I can go there and make a difference.
Right. So many thanks to you for doing the watching. The AM show continues after this. But thank you once again to Comfort Okran. She is the Executive Director for Springboard Road Show Foundation. And Stephanie Donu-Sapong is the Head of Gender and Quality Management at Solidaridad, West Africa.